Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. It's an exciting time. It's like all the possibilities are open to us, and what are we going to do with them, right? So, one of the things that I am very passionate about, and frankly, the world needs right now, is thinking about how do we get more qualified and interested people to apply for our openings. It's something that, of course, is near and dear to my heart, having spent my career as a recruiter and helping companies find the nearly impossible. And so, with that, this week's tip is really to help you get off to the new year on a great foot and really think about how we're going to be able to get more of the right people interested in our opportunity. So, with that, I want to go ahead and share a couple of things that I think are really important and kind of rules of the road, if you will, if you want to get better results from recruiting. And so, with that, the first thing is make sure you're using a job ad. If you're still posting your job description, you're not doing yourself any favors. Those simply are boring and they serve a different purpose in your business. They are something that helps protect you from lawsuits. They help everybody have a clear understanding of the vast majority of what's involved in that job. They're not that great at getting people excited and interested in an opportunity because most of the time they're boring. Necessary, but boring. So I want you to start disconnecting in your head job description and job posting, right? So what we're going to post when we're trying to get people excited and interested in our opportunities is different than what we're going to use as, hey, we're sitting down, it's getting a pretty serious conversation now, and this is what this job looks like day in, day out. And here's the requirements of how much you need to lift. Are you going to be on your feet 6 to 8 hours a day? Those different things. So in your mind, I want you to really make a line in the sand, like 2022 is the year that I really understand that a job description has a different function and a different purpose than a job ad or a job posting. So that is the fundamental thing. Trust me, if you stop listening now, but you take that to heart, you will start to get better results from your recruiting and attraction efforts. So that's the number one, okay? The number two one is we need to make sure we're getting it in front of enough of the right people that we can get enough qualified and interested candidates to choose from. So the number two mistake I see people making is that they aren't thinking about what the right audience is and how do I get in front of enough people. Lots of times in your mind, you're thinking, well, I just need that one person. Well, that's not actually real. Like, yep, you might only be hiring one person, but we need a lot of people to see the opportunity, learn about it, have a chance to consider it, decide if they're interested and if they want to take action and move forward, so you can have enough people to choose from. So, yep, theoretically, you might just need one person to hire, but the reality is if you want to make it a great hire, you need to have enough people aware of that opportunity, and within that, enough of the right people aware of your opportunity, so enough of them take action, giving you enough qualified and interested candidates to make a great choice from. So I'm going to do a little segue here because it's something I see over and over again, and you might have heard me talk about it before, but I think it's worth mentioning that there is a cycle that is really prevalent in small business as well as industries that are really feeling kind of the pinch. There's not enough qualified talent in the market. Everything's short and tight. So with that, I want you to think about the fact that the root of all of your recruiting and retention problems is really scarcity. And that just means that it's not a plethora of great people you want to hire right at your fingertips. You're not just like, I posted the job, I got 100 great applicants, now I'm weeding it down. It's so many great people to choose from. That isn't your problem, would be my guess, right? Your problem is the fact that you're posting the job and you're hardly getting anyone that you're excited about. Or maybe you get one and they accept a different offer. It's a lot of ways we can get our heart broken, that hiring process, right? So with that, I want you to really think about the fact that scarcity is your enemy, right? Because scarcity leads to settling. We've all been there. We're desperate to hire. We just need somebody in the seat. The rest of the team is like working overtime. They're tired. So that scarcity and the lack of feeling great about our choices leads to us to settle. And when we settle for people that we know aren't probably going to be rock stars or even probably slightly above average, we start to see a lot of problems happen, right? So instead of spending more time and energy on the recruiting to make sure you get more qualified candidates up front, now you're going to spend that time training and coaching and managing And lots of times that's going to also fall on those same coworkers who you're trying to give a break to, but in fact, you've just added more training and trying to keep somebody up to speed. That may actually end up being more work because they're slower to pick it up, right? So with that, I want to make sure you really think hard before you settle and understand that when you settle for the best that applied, even though you'd probably not use the word best to describe them in any other way, you are choosing a different kind of pain, right? There's the pain of trying harder, working harder, maybe spending more money on getting the right person. And there's the pain of settling and just flipping it around. Now that time is being spent on payroll that's not giving a good ROI, on your team members' time, on your manager's time, to try to get that person up to speed as quickly as possible and probably fill in the gaps they have. Not surprisingly, the third step of this sequence, so we've got scarcity and settling, now comes setbacks. And as you know, when you've ever hired people you weren't sure about or you were kind of taking a risk on, almost always it leads to setbacks. It leads to them not being able to train as quickly as you thought. It leads to the performance issues. And I'm going to just put a caveat in here. There is a fine line of if you don't have a clear onboarding and training plan and you're expecting to do mostly on-the-job training, they will have a longer learning curve, right? That's the reality of it. So that's a choice too, right? If we don't have a structured idea of what we need them to understand and achieve by certain dates, we are prolonging our agony. So that's a different video though. So with that, we've got those setbacks. So the big thing I would say to you over and over again is you're choosing. So you're choosing that I don't want to spend any more time, energy, and effort to get more good people to choose from. You're choosing to spend time training, onboarding, and managing and coaching somebody who you knew when you hired them was a little bit less than. So anyway, that 3S cycle is really important and it shows up all the time. And I firmly believe when we know better, we hire better, right? So when you can recognize, oh, scarcity has my heart beating fast, it makes me nervous, we got to fill this, I don't know what else to do. So I'm going to just hire this one because I'm paranoid we're never going to fill it, or it'll be another 6 weeks till we can fill it. So then you're settling. And then, of course, it leads to setbacks. So my request to you and my suggestion for 2022 is that you get really clear about recognizing, I just need to know more and I can do better, right? Because again, we know better, we hire better. So watching my videos, reading my blogs, you know, if you want, join some of our training programs, reach out to my team to see how we can help you with some of your challenging ones, you know, definitely do that. But the reality is people are out there. There is actually a ton of people in the workforce right now. They're just not scouring the job boards and looking for a job description that's super boring and deciding to take action on it, right? You have more competition now than you've had in a lot of years. And for many industries, especially ones I'm familiar with, it hasn't been easy. And there hasn't been a plethora of great candidates for years and years and years. I mean, I dare say decades in some cases. So I just want you to know you're not alone, but also there's ways to problem solve this. There's ways to dive deeper into it and really empower yourself so you can get different results and set yourself apart from the competition. So the last thing I am going to say, and this is probably just Rika getting a little bit soapboxy, that happens. There is a ton of people, and again, full disclosure, I am a recruiter. I believe when we have enough great people to choose from, we can make great choices. I think it's really hard to make a great hire if you just have average or good enough people to choose from. But there is a lot of experts in the world who are exceptional at something they do. And then they decided to throw a little hiring coaching into their business. And all it is about weeding them out. So if you're looking at trainings to help yourself get better, if their focus is on really weeding it out to make sure that you don't hire a dud and get rid of all those pesky candidates, like let's have them fill out an assessment before we even see their resume. Let's have them complete a 30-minute video interview before anyone on our company even looks at them. Like, no. Like, you are not in a position right now where you need to be worried about weeding out all of these great candidates to go for the super elite best. That isn't your reality, right? So I want you to really be discerning and think about the fact that lots of times, well, every single time, it is easier to tell people how to weed people out and not hire them and not have it fail. Because if you don't hire them, you don't actually know what you missed. However, that is not the advice you need. It's not the coaching you need right now. It is something that might be more relevant if you are Apple, Google, Meta, a million different things where people desperately want to work for them, right? That isn't the case of most of my clients. And so we need to be trying harder, and we need to focus on getting enough people into the top of our funnel that we can be selective on the bottom, but we can't be weeding people out before we've even had a chance to consider them. So anyway, I told you that's a little soapbox. So don't get excited and go look for a training. And when all they're talking about is how to like weed people out and crazy things like, going out to lunch with them and seeing what they do to order, or having, dressing up like a chauffeur to see if they're rude to you, like all of those crazy things we've all heard about, just skip it, right? We can definitely weed people out, but we need enough people interested in the opportunity. And then we need to make sure they're interested in our organization and our opportunity, and they're showing up to the interviews, not getting ghosted and not choosing something else, or not deciding, you know what, I don't know enough about this job and I don't care enough to spend 10 minutes taking this pre-assessment, or 10 minutes recording these video interviews, or 7 minutes or 5 minutes filling out all the information that's on my resume, which I uploaded into their super manual online application form. Okay, that's another problem. You're losing people there. So anyway, this is more to help you understand that the reality is you need to be posting in more than one spot. You need to be posting a job ad, not a job description. So if I'm going to break it down into the top 3 tips for today, number 1, don't post a job description. Make sure you are selling your opportunities. So use a job ad, put your marketing hat on, really try to make it appealing. Number 2, post it in multiple places. Of course, we want lots of eyes on it, but we also want them to be the right eye. So think about your ideal hire. Where are they going to be? Are they on Indeed? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Craigslist? Are they on ZipRecruiter? Are they on, Facebook? Are they on Twitter? Wherever they are, maybe they're on, maybe it's a IT position, and there's a whole bunch of things like GitHub that relate to that. So think about where your ideal hire is, and make sure you're getting it out in front of those places as well. So if you're just posting your job in one place, you are giving yourself a very limited chance of success. Indeed is a great choice. They do a lot of stuff, but it still is going to limit your results. So be sure that you are not just posting it in one place. The easiest way to do it is to use social media and ask your team members to share it out to their people. Ask your followers to share it. Hey, we're looking to hire for this. Please share. We're looking to talk to people, that you think would be a great fit with our culture, right? And so you're doing that. There's lots of ways we can dive deeper into how to use social media, but for right now, I think this is the most important thing, is like you need to be thinking about, how can I get in front of more people? So put your marketing hat on. How do they get your messages out to the right people on the right platform, so you have the right message in front of the right people at the right time? All right, I hope this helps, and I hope you are on your way to an amazing 2022.